avoiding an issue by going overseas to buy your products, basically, but then you're going to kill more farming here.
Yeah, you'll kill farming here, and I think the biggest thing is food security. You'll kill here because, we were talking about it before we started. We were about 10 days away from starving in the Second World War because we were an island nation and we couldn't import any food because of the German U-boats in the Atlantic. So we were about 10 days off physically starving in the UK. Well, the world is a very, very volatile place at the minute. Look what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. Look what's happening in the Middle East. It's only got to take another global conflict and our food reserves could be cut off from being imported, and then we've got to rely solely on British farmers. We're only producing 60% of our food. And if you want unrest in a nation, starve them. Because that's what, you look at the Arab uprising, 2011 back in North Africa, it was down to food shortages, and that's how the Arab Spring happened.
Wow.
So if you want to cause a riot, you let people go hungry, and that's when it happens.
So you're essentially saying then if our country go hungry, that's when we're gonna be like, farmers, we need you again. Is that where it's gonna get?
Well, you don't know if you remember this, but it was like 4 weeks before COVID. An MP walked out of Downing Street, and she had documents under her arm, and on the outside it was just an initiative about not having any agriculture in this country and importing all the food we need, wasn't it? That was tabloid news. I can't remember the specifics of it. Within 4 weeks, the shelves were empty because COVID hit, and there was no lorry drivers on the road. Like, we're that close to it's like a tinderbox.
Thing is, though, people won't change because they always see
they're not hungry.
Yeah, they're not hungry. It's like you've got to get to a stage where we need to be in a position where we're like, we are fucked. Yeah. We need farmers to really up their game and utilize their products to get in the door. Because if we're only at 60%, that's quite concerning, really, isn't it?
It's massively concerning. And there's so many other stories that we could divulge on here that, again, in the UK, what we produce is very, very nutrient dense. A lot of it's pasture based. So we would also be helping if we produce more food here in the UK, had more nutrient dense food going into schools, for example, into hospitals, for example. It will also help people with diet. And one of the biggest causes of pressure on the NHS now is what people are actually eating a lot of processed food. They're eating a lot of imported food that have just been pumped full of grain, pumped full of hormones. Like you talk about American beef, they're pumped full of growth hormones. You don't get that here in the UK. But we don't know because we're basically secondhand having those growth hormones. We're secondhand having medicine that's been pumped into these animals abroad to help them. As actually that, when we eat that meat, then we could be having some of that coming through to us then as well, which could be, affecting anthelmintic resistance.